Welcome back to Car Man Conversations. My name is Luke Camilleri, and this episode is around the journey from where it all began, the Camilleri story. So I guess for me, it's a pretty big story to tell. I left school in 94, 17 years old, and I started working for a panel shop called Carrera Carrossery. I went there as more of a bit of a lackey, I guess you could say, and didn't learn much in there. I soon realised that wasn't for me, and that I liked being amongst people in an environment, but I didn't know exactly what it was, whether it was going to be cars or real estate or whatever it could have been at the time. But I spent 6 months there, doing not much more than just labouring work. I saw an opportunity come up for Grand Prix Mazda, which turned out to own Carrera Carrossery after that, as a parts warehouse role. I moved into that parts warehouse role after getting the job, and I literally worked in a parts warehouse. Absolutely loved it. To me, I was a bit nervous back in the time to want to talk to anyone or go and sit in the lunchroom, and I didn't feel that I could be part of the team. I was very nervous and respectful of the people that had been there a long time, and I just wanted to learn my trade and do what I could. And really at the time, it was a great opportunity for me to understand people, and the direction that they had in their mind of what they wanted, and working in different departments of seeing the flow of the business. For me, then I'd never once thought to myself, "Oh, look, I want to run this business, or I want to sell cars." At that point, to be honest, I didn't actually know what I wanted to do. The more time I spent in that parts warehouse, the more I enjoyed it, and soon I set my goals that I wanted to move from there to be a back counter parts interpreter. I put the questions out there and expressed my interest to the right people, and I got challenged, and my boss at the time, John Kirk, his son works for me now, and John's still buying cars with me today, but he made things pretty hard for me, and he made me learn the hard way, and I appreciated that. It was the time then of the less is more, speak when you're spoken to, you're on a need-to-know basis, and but everything I was challenged on doing, it was my goal to make sure I did it without having to ask for any help or assistance. Soon from there, I thought that, no, I really want to move forward. I ended up getting the opportunity to work on the spare parts back counter. And immediately then I thought, no, this is great. I was interacting more with the technicians and getting more involved in the business. And I thought, this is me. I'm loving this. I feel part of the team. I felt very privileged at the time to wear the uniform. And again, I'd only been in the business for 12 months and still wasn't comfortable to sit in the staff lunchroom. I just wanted to do my own thing and be by myself and wait till I was spoken to. And I guess that was just a respect thing at the time. I was the youngest in the dealership. Everyone had been there a long time, and I didn't want to step on anyone's toes. And from that point, I saw an opportunity then to work in the phone room. So I put my hand up and offered to work free of charge outside of my hours to learn how they worked in the phone room for parts interpreting. There were two guys there, Bruce Pittman and Bob York, and they'd been there forever. And to get a smile or an acknowledgement out of them was a mission in itself, but they took me under their wing and taught me the craft, and I loved it. And it was at that point where I gained the confidence in my career of knowing that, I need to surround myself with good people. I want to push outside my boundaries and talk to the right people to learn more. And I found that if I wanted to be there and I showed that interest of being there, that I'd get more opportunity. That came. I then was promoted into a back counter role, and then into service advising, which I really enjoyed that aspect of the business. Not long after that, we moved from Virginia, and bought the site where we're currently at now, at 1441 Gympie Road, and this was our satellite centre, believe it or not, where we had our new car department here, and all our workshop was at Virginia, but we'd just opened a parts and service centre, and I came up to run, I guess at a young age, that service facility, and that's when I just knew that this is what I wanted to do. I felt that it was going to be a challenge for me, but I just loved it. I loved every bit of it. I was running our internal parts department, I was running our internal service department, and I just simply couldn't get enough. Soon enough, our business grew pretty rapidly, and we continued to buy the real estate around us. And started, I think that was the journey then where the empire just really started to grow. We moved across then to a bigger service department, and we moved off-site from Virginia and moved the whole dealership across to Aspley. And it was at that point there where I moved in as a full-time service advisor, and I couldn't get enough. I really couldn't get enough. The more hours I could possibly do, the more I would. The more opportunity I had to learn it was, and I soon realised that the more I got to talk to customers, the more opportunity I was going to get. And if they got to know me, they're going to come back and speak to me when they come back for their next service. And I realised the mentality of that then was really about the people. I had a fantastic boss then, Neville Lawson, who taught me everything around attention to detail and being very respectful to the right people and learning the trade and not going outside of the square, and don't try and be better than what you actually are. And I was surrounded by some really good people that kept me grounded. And to the time, still I was the junior, and I hadn't been in the dealership long compared to everyone else. Being a family business, I was always sceptical of promoting my surname, because I didn't want people to think that I'd just been given a job because of your surname and you just come into the business and you've just been given a job. So I thought I had to work a lot harder, work a lot smarter, and probably not carry the tag of the surname so I could get a free ride, I guess. And I just earned the respect of people, and I realised that the best way for this is to roll up the sleeves and work hard, and good things will come. I really enjoyed that. It was a 6-day-a-week job. I used to look after the service centre on a Saturday as well, and I remember my dad coming to me in late 1998 and said to me, I want you to come across to the sales department. And I remember saying to him at the time, no way in the world, I don't want to go to sales. I'm really comfortable in the service department. I'm comfortable doing what I'm doing here. And I remember him saying to me, you're not meant to feel comfortable. I want you to come and work in the sales department. So I did a rotation with one of the salespeople, and I moved across into sales in early 1999. We used to sell around about 30 cars a month, and I came across to a pretty an unwelcome party, you could say, of the new kid on the block, and you've come across here and you're the boss's son and you're going to come and sell cars. And so and I just watched what they did, and they had coming from a service department where they all worked together and they all had an end goal in place. The sales department was a bit different. No one wanted to support each other, and it was the old stereotypical sales of you do as little as you want, and the junior comes on and they do everything, and you don't really get any help, and if you do ask for it, you don't get anything. So I soon realised that I had to stand on my own 2 feet, and I'm going to make the most of this. I sold my first car not long after that, and the thrill I got from that was just unbelievable. It was absolutely unbelievable. I thought, nah, this is what I want to do. Soon enough, I realised that, Jesus, you can make a whole heap of money in selling cars. And these people come back and they love it. They're excited. And it was at that point then when I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a sales team, and in my mind I thought, if I ever get the opportunity to be that person at the time, the sales manager, I want to do things differently. I want to do it the way that I would like to be treated, and I would like to manage the people and put structures in place that allow people to grow and develop. So that's what I nestled down and did. I decided that I wanted to do everything in my possible power to become the sales manager. I asked as many questions as I could. I got knocked back. You're on a need-to-know basis, and I just kept being persistent. I was like a pest. And I continued to ask, and I'll do that. Can I do that? Can I learn this? And that was around fleet, and that was about costing out cars and learning about wholesale and learning about trades and so on. And sure enough, came the opportunity after a period of time when it was late 2002. We grew our dealership bigger to Caboolture, and our sales manager at the time, David Simpson, went to run our Caboolture branch, and I got the opportunity to I guess fill in a sales arena. I was a hypothetical sales manager, I guess, without the title. And it was at that opportunity then when I said, nah, this is it. Here we go. I've got the opportunity. I'm never going to let it down. And it was around that period we were selling around 40 or 50 cars a month. I soon turned that into 100 cars a month. from the 100 turned to 150, turned to 200, and we became very much process driven. It was around structure, it was around the right people, it was around the right energy, creating the right platform that customers were getting the best customer service they could, and we actually formed a team. The years went on from there as an absolute blur. Our volume went from 200 to 250 to 300 to 350, but I realised that our processes probably weren't what they needed to be, and we were more like a big factory that churned out a lot of cars without a whole heap of structure. And I was the leader of it. I used to look at myself and go, I'm the one that's driving this. I'm the one that needs to, change the way we market, or we need to create that process for the delivery department, or we need to create a process for the customers. And I was still young. I was, at that time, just blessed with the opportunity that I'd been given. And I didn't want to let anyone down, and I wanted to make the most of it. We continued on there, and we just continued to burst at the seams in stock holding, the room in the dealership, and we kept breaking every record there was to break. That journey continued. 2012, after continuing to break a multitude of records along the way and setting new sales numbers and creating a really good staff, I took on the role of a joint dealer principal in the Aspley branch. Loved every minute of that, and that was new opportunity and form of the business that I probably hadn't got to experience. And again, I'd come in that pretty young, without the knowledge, but I had the energy, and I had the want and the passion and the desire for it. And in 2015, we moved out of our new car showroom, and we built a new showroom, and we had to move out for a period of 12 months. And it was that period where everything changed. We went and broke more records working out of a marquee at the time. I realised that we had really good structure around us, but we didn't have a lot of depth when it came to self-development and growth and training. When it came to support around delivery and our finance department, we didn't have backup plans, and the processes I realised right then were we were very, very reactive rather than a proactive dealership. At the same time, I spoke with Mazda, and they talked to me about you're working too much in the business, and you need to start working on that business and provide a really good structure around you with people, with self-development and growth. And at the time, I took it on board, and I still remember the conversation where I was standing, but I probably took it the wrong way and thought, well, no, I think I'm going pretty good and we're going okay. And the penny dropped when we moved into the new car showroom, and I, in my head, thought, geez, we're going to sell a lot more cars. We've got this beautiful showroom, and it's, nice and bright. And, we've gone from holding no cars to 25 cars in a showroom and a great facility, but it was the complete opposite. We've become complacent and thought that we would build something and the people would come, and it was at that point there that I realised that we've been very, very reactive and don't have a really good solid structure in place. And I think that was my I guess recollection of where everything changed. And I set a little goal in my head of, right, well, this is what we need to do, and I need to rebuild here and reset. And it was that point where I just took stranglehold of the business and said, these are the new areas moving forward, and this is what we're going to do. And it was late 2018, we restructured the dealership slightly, and at that point I knew exactly what I wanted, and that was to be the best of the best in every area. I wanted to be the leader when it came to motivation and drive and want. I wanted to be the best in a dealership that created great opportunity for people in training, development, but I also wanted to be a real role model as far as a leader when it came to providing real positive energy and thoughts and mindset around personal growth. And that was at the time when I really built the right people. So I invested some time into management to get the right people around me and to teach them the insights of the business. And it was the best thing that ever happened. We became very, very more structured. We became very professional in our approach and realised that everything that we need to do is with an expectation to deliver and an experience. It's not going to be a transaction. Everything that we're going to do from here on in is going to be an experience. And the development I've watched from my team and the growth of self-development and in belief, in trust, in process, and their attitude is just unbelievable, and that's what drives me. So I look at those years leading up to now, and every day I pull on that jersey every morning, and I appreciate the opportunity I'm given. And I walk through the doors, and very, very fortunate to be working in the number one dealership in Australia. I look at my staff, and I think I'm blessed to work around some very driven and motivated people that want the same dream that I believe in. And I think they're appreciative of the vision they've got and the support. And it all goes back to my earlier days of everything that I wanted to do, and I thought if I ever had the opportunity to deliver that and be that person, I will be, and I believe today I am. And I wouldn't be that if I never had that when I went through the business. And I believe that the blessing for me was me doing it really tough and having no structure and having no role models and having no successor of this is where you need to be, and learning the hard way, and be very appreciative. So I look at the business today in 2021, and we're Mazda master dealers, and we're the number one dealership in the country, and I'm very, very proud of how far we've come on the journey. But for me to be where I am today is from my journey of working through the parts department, our service department, spending time in our finance department, working with admin, knowing the hard yards that are doing with internal through pre-delivery and the process there, but being a people's person that understands that it doesn't matter what part of the dealership it is, that I know the process and I know the people and I understand what they need to go through every day, and to be that person as the role model. So I guess the journey up to today, without breaking down on every department, it's been a challenging one, but it's been a successful one, and it's been the one based on just real hard work of rolling up the sleeves and knowing exactly what I wanted. And if you believe in that vision, that belief becomes reality, and it becomes a fact. And and I sit back and I'm grateful for the opportunity I'm given. But there was no way that I was going to leave any stone unturned on that journey to get to where I am today. So, I feel very, very privileged for the opportunity that I've been given. I guess my journey from the way things were to the way they are now, and to shape the business, would be built on the people. And my big reality is that we all sell cars. We dealerships. They all have nice shiny cars that smell good, and the dealerships look amazing. But what's inside is the people. And if the time and effort goes into those people and their belief and trust of the dream, and that be the vision, and that's my vision that I make very, very transparent, and I give the staff their values of this is what you need to do, and I'm going to back you 100% to do it. I believe that's the way the dealership needs to move forward. And it's not of playing what's in front of you, it's of a very, very structured, planned, where we focus on really clever execution. And that execution is delivered by consistently being repetitious in what we do, and not being transactional, but being and create an experience. Without that, I guess you don't have any principle to work off. And I want to give something to the staff when they turn up every day. They know exactly where they're going. And be it process, be it consistent, be it repetitious. But I think to be good at what you do, you've got to follow all those principles. So I've been a believer that the dealership is all about the people. And about the people, you need to have a leader. And I believe that required me to be that person that's the inspiration to the rest, and get an understanding for my staff to realise that they are the difference between every other car dealership. From that, I became, and I guess I wanted to portray myself as the car man, and I want to be the person knowing that I can help in any possible need that you need for a car. Take away all the in-betweens of how difficult it can possibly be to buy a car, to value a car, to book a car service and everything else. I want to be that person that, obviously from an internal point of view for staff, that I'm the inspiration and the motivator, and they've got something to look up to and to want to be and to achieve. But externally for our customers and for the general public to understand that I want to make this the easiest process possible, and I want to help people from a booking process, from a sales process, from a valuation process, and take out all the in-between, take away the hype of, the typical used car yard or a new car yard, and they're just trying to, they sell you the car and they don't want to know about it. That's not me, and that's not the principles of the dealership. We're about the people. We're about making it easier, and we're making it about giving them an understanding that we're trying to work to something that's fair and reasonable, and to make them realise that this is actually a really good experience, and it's not a bad transaction. It's a lot of fun, and do it the right way through the right people, and you're going to enjoy it, but you're going to build a really good relationship along the way. So as you can see by Carman Conversations, this is about what I'm trying to do to take this journey directly to you guys, I believe, about breaking down the ease of cars, the ease of the sale, the ease of the process, and to say that I'm here, well, I'm open, I'm transparent, and I'm available to be able to help you with any of your car needs. That's the motto through the dealership, and that's the motto through me, and I want to be the leader and lead from the front on this one and show you that quite capably that we can work together on it, and this will be a fun experience, and go down with calm man conversations to break down the hype, to show you how easy it is, and to help, doesn't matter what area of the dealership, that I'm here to do it. And the fact that I've done that whole dealership before and I understand it, I'm the right man to be able to help you with the journey.